Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I have a series of videos covering all of the various zodiac signs and looking towards your May. So this is a general reading. If things don't resonate, then just leave them be and trust with your intuition about what does and does not apply to you personally. So let's go ahead and dive in. This video, of course, is for all the Geminis out there. So let's see what your oracle cards are for this month of May. So we have 45 empowerment, we have 21 fresh approach, we have 43 ascension, keepers of the earth, we have broken heart, and the angel of strength. Then we also have Mary Magdalene and Lady Venus. So first thing I want to say, because when I was shuffling these cards, a lot of them were coming out as twos, so I made note of that and was thinking, 2 is obviously going to be an important number for all you guys. And then, thinking more on it, of course it is, because you guys are Geminis, so that is, the twin, the balance of both those sort of energies coming together. So that makes a lot of sense. Also, overall, looking at these cards, I would say a lot of what you're going to be working with for May has a lot to do with healing, the earth, empowerment, and like teaching in a way. So let's go ahead and dive more into this. So let's go ahead with this card, 43 Ascension. So basically what this card is talking about is, a real emphasis on reconnecting with earth, nature, and by doing this, it's going to help you, lead to your inner divinity, more peace and light within, and overall just reconnecting with nature is going to help with the healing process, because for some of you that is going to be more important than for others. But overall, again, a lot of this connection to the earth is very important. And so for this card, of course, we have a little affirmation to go along with it. So let's see what that says. So, it says, I take time for myself. Nothing is more important. In nature, I find my inner peace and tranquility. I delve into my inner sanctuary. So yes, definitely, I highly encourage you, because I think it'll become even more clear and more obvious as I keep going through these cards, how important it is for you guys, Gemini, to go out in nature during May. Take walks, just sit out on your porch if you have a porch, and just, listen to the wind, connect with animals around you, maybe set up like a bird feeder, just something, if you have pets, connect with your pets. Take them for like long walks, that kind of sort of thing. So moving on and going with that, we have keepers of earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So this card is, you are very supported. You have a lot of helpers in this world, in earth, spiritual and the physical. And so, this is saying that they recognize the work that you're doing and you have been doing, and they want to, help you and work through you to continue that process, because, this is mentioning, devoting, whether or not you are right now. So if you already are sort of devoted to working and helping to protect the earth in however way that is for you, how you, connect to that, or you're somebody who's just starting to work with that, definitely keep on it. Spend some time in May devoting your time to helping to protect the earth. However you see that, planting flowers, cleaning up, an outdoor space, whatever it is, definitely do that, because through that, you're going to be able to connect, I think, to whatever guides and helpers are around you. This will be a way for you to connect to them and listen to what they have to tell you. Increase your capacity to receive that that support. So be very open to listening to whatever messages they have to tell you in whatever way they choose to tell you that, you know, especially in a physical way, you know. Even just like people around you who want to help and support you and give you help, accept that, because it's being divinely guided by your higher spirit guides, your ancestors. You know, again, open yourself to receive things that will be echoed in other cards here as well. So moving on, let's go ahead and talk about, for some of you, this is going to be, oh, there's Aslan. I'm forgetting again. There is a little affirmation along with this card, so let's go ahead and see what that has to say. Yeah. So it says, I'm open to receiving a whole new level of support for my life and my work, and I call it now. Include any other specific requests here, you know, and then say thank you, thank you, thank you. So definitely, whatever it is that you're working on right now or you want to be working on, ask your guides for help and be very thankful for the support that they're giving. Now moving on to this card that we have here. We have Broken Heart. So this is talking about grief and loss. So, but I don't feel like this is necessarily something that's going to happen to you in May. This is something that you're carrying over. You know, it might come up. This is talking about an unhealed hurt. So for some of you, you have a need for a deeper healing here with this, you know, a broken heart essentially. So, you know, vent your feelings, the emotions that you're having, and then reclaim your power and your peace of mind through this healing. And again, the best way that I'm seeing here for that healing is through earth, is through nature, and by calling on these various different guides and angels that are around you. So, but you have to open your heart to receiving what that's coming, that divine light, love, and all of that is coming towards you. You have to be open and receptive to that at this time. Have a lot of compassion just for yourself. Self-care. For a lot of you, even if you're not dealing with a very clear hurt like this deep hurt that you have, for some of you, either way, definitely have a lot of self-care this month. So self-care is a priority. Take time out for yourself. You know, sit, meditate, take a long bath, you know, do you. Make sure that you devote time to that, because you seem like you're doing a lot of work and you're starting a lot of new things, but you have to remember to take the time out to care for yourself. And along with this, because when this card came out, this one was also with it. So the Angel of Strength. So the Angel of Strength is all about, you know, personal power and that inner strength and increasing your power. Do not be passive or submissive in this situation or coming up, especially with this whole broken heart situation. For some of you, you need to reclaim your personal power and heal that wound. So a lot of empowerment, and we even have the empowerment card over here. So this is a very strong, clear message. And to do that, you definitely want to speak your truth, you know, and take action in whatever it is that you want to manifest desire-wise. You know, what are your dreams, and take action and speak your truth on that. Because you have a lot of inner strength and unlimited resources at this time coming in. And so, and to make whatever dreams a reality, but you want to call on this Angel of Strength to help you and guide you through that process and support you with that. And you have a lot of other guides and ancestors here too that you can call on, along with also what we have going on here. So we have Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. And she's saying the same thing. She is about radical change for the earth in order to push it to greater prosperity. And again, that emphasis on earth and your role in that, because I think you guys do have a big role to play in that, because you can really help and be a teacher. So, because this is what this card is talking about, is being, you are a teacher, you are a leader. You have a lot of things that you learned that you can share, so you have to speak your truth in order to share that to you. If you feel vulnerable in that situation in talking about what you've learned and what you're interested in, don't be held back by that, because this card is telling you that vulnerability is actually your greatest strength. Trust in the power of your soul, because that is something that can never be broken or taken away from you. This Mary Magdalene has a very rebel heart, so I feel like a lot of you guys do have that as well. You could connect with that as well. Also, again, I forget to mention this. There are also affirmations for these two cards. Let me quickly go over those before moving on to Lady Venus. So for Broken Heart, the affirmation is, I release the pain of the past and live with compassion for myself. Love heals and renews me now. And then for the Angel of Strength, to help you with that healing, we have the affirmation, deep within me is an aiding strength that knows no bounds. I have all the power I need to achieve all that I want. So yes, definitely, get it. So now with Lady Venus, what it says is downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So, this could tell me that you might have specifically light workers from Venus around you. Maybe you kind of embody that light worker from Venus energy. This is divine love. Maybe you're studying some sort of spiritual subject, and you can call on Lady Venus to help you in understanding that subject more. If you're struggling with maybe grasping something, or the messages aren't coming as clearly as you want them to, but you can call on her to help you. And then you also have Mary Magdalene, which is all about teaching and leadership and speaking the truth of things you've learned. So these two are definitely working together to help you in whatever it is that you're studying or you're working on. The other thing this card is mentioning is that you might you might be right now, or definitely during May, you're gonna maybe hear high-pitched noises in your ear. You see flickers of light, and feel like you're being visited by beings during your sleep. And I don't mean that in a creepy way. This is in a very positive way, because this is basically signaling that you're receiving downloads from these, this higher realm of knowing, of knowledge, the Akashic records kind of thing. And you should definitely contemplate what those messages are trying to tell you. Ask yourself what it is you need to know, and then ask them to help you in figuring out what path you should take, and what are these things that you need to know. Have that clear, sort of open and receptive line of communication between you and whatever higher beings that you connect to. This is all about a new, searching out and gaining a new level of understanding, not just for yourself, but also helping other people to reach that as well. Again, that balance of the student and teacher here. And finally, we get into these cards here. So with, fresh approach is basically talking about stepping outside of your box, releasing any old stagnant sort of processes or cycles, trying something new, and through the process of learning something new, gaining better insight about what you want, the actions and the places that you want to go. And the other thing that always stands out with me in this card is it asks you, so if you didn't have to worry about failing at something, what choices would you make? And basically answer that question. If you're not worried about failing, what what is your highest dream? Like what is the thing that you would totally do if fear wasn't sort of stopping you from taking action? Well, this card is definitely telling you that you shouldn't let that stop you. Just take that action, because it doesn't matter. Well, in a lot of ways, this card is telling you that it doesn't matter if the choices that you end up making feel like a mistake maybe in the end, because it's not a mistake. It's never a mistake, because that is a learning moment. You had to take that action because you had to learn a lesson from that. Again, lessons that need to be learned, and from that lessons, you're going to help other people. Because with the empowerment card, this is, I feel like, not just empowerment for yourself, but also empowerment for others around you. So we're talking about attuning to nature again, connecting to the creatures of the earth. So I feel probably in May, you might have interesting encounters with like wild animals or maybe pets, and have some strong connections with that. Having compassion for others that need your help others when they come to you for guidance, solving problems and difficulties, and being able to do it in a good way. We're talking about being receptive to what is coming through and helping others with that. Support from unusual sources. This is talking specifically, like there might be a case in May where you have help and support from something unusual that you weren't expecting. And be alert to these things. Be alert to the messages that are coming through. That maybe in any other case you would sort of like, oh, that's nothing. But no, don't be that way. If it stands out at all and it catches your attention in any way, take note of it, because there's meaning behind that. There's something you need to know from that, and take action through that. Because if you pay attention to the signs and you take action, you listen to what is coming through, there's going to be some sort of really good payoff for you by doing that process of listening again. So the overall theme here, definitely connect to nature, help out others when they come to you, as like, be that teacher leader role, listen to the divine guidance that is coming through, and work on, self-love, self-care priority, healing anything that is, unhealed here, because you have a lot of guidance and backup to do that. Embrace that inner strength that you have. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive more specifically into the various overall energy for you for the month, and specific things for each of the weeks in May. So let's go ahead and get into that. Gemini went ahead and shuffled the tarot. So let's go ahead and see what it is saying overall for your month of May, starting off with the overall sort of energy mood going on for the overall month, which we have the Tower cards. So do not panic. The Tower card is one of those cards that I think gets a bad rap, more so than it necessarily deserves. So when we're looking at the Tower card, this is talking about, a sudden upheaval, some massive change happening, also disaster, but it's really not something to be feared. A lot of people have, the concept of fear that really comes with this card is more about the, kind of automatic feeling of fear of change, because whatever this big change that is happening, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something bad. It doesn't mean it is an actual disaster. It just means that the ground and, this structure that you have built for yourself, your beliefs, all of that, it no longer serves you. So it has to crumble away. You have to release it and, start from scratch, kind of, in a sense. This is marking a new beginning, in a sense, because you're bringing down this tower, but the foundation can still, like a strong foundation can still be there. And now you just need to build upon that, a new structure for yourself, a new belief system in all of that. This also can refer to, maybe for some of you, during the month of May, You know, stay away from any sort of arguments in work situations, at work, because this card also will refer to something like a warning of sorts on that end of, in your work area, an idea of, you know, arguments at work. On the financial side, just like making sure that you know what's going on with your finances. And as far as relationships wise, you know, this can mark the end of a relationship. A relationship that you're in is ending. But again, this card is just a warning. I mean, these things could come to pass if you're not aware of it and you're not actively, you know, rebuilding the structure, you know, starting that new beginning. So if you're in a relationship and you don't want it to end, you need to really pay attention to what is going on with that. You know, any sort of miscommunications, you need to work on it. Basically, if the relationship no longer serves you, then, you know, sever ties and let it be. But if you still really care about whatever this relationship is, work on it. You know, really talk to whoever your partner is. Make sure there isn't any serious miscommunications. Also make sure that, you know, your values, because since the Tower is marking this time of, you know, fixing old beliefs, you know, creating a new system for yourself, check in with your partner and make sure that you both are still gonna be on the same page in that way, you know. So that's kind of the overall vibe that is going on based off the tarot, what it's saying for your overall month. And so, you know, with the oracle cards that we've had, that makes sense, because it's all about the oracles. We're talking about deep healing, rebuilding, you know, your self-power. All of that kind of goes in with what is happening with the Tower, I feel. So moving on to your first week of May, we have the Four of Swords. So this makes great sense, you know, when you got this heavy Tower moment possibly coming in, or you've been in this situation. The first week of May is really talking about needing to retreat, rest, restore, regroup, contemplate, you know, where you're heading, what is the next step you want to do. You know, work on healing, you know, setting your goals, knowing where you're going. Let go of a problem, because this is telling me that you're probably feeling exhausted. You've been struggling to try to fix some sort of problem that's going on, but it isn't working. So you just need to take a moment, kind of, you know, this makes me think of like an art analogy. When, you know, with artists, we stand up super close to the canvas a lot of times, even when we don't mean to, and we're working, you know, so diligently on like some area, but we need to remember to step back and actually look at it from a distance, because then you can really see, oh, you know, this area of the canvas isn't as good as this other area. So this is what I feel like, how I think of this card. It's taking a moment to sort of step back and look at the bigger picture around you. And I think that's very important if this is what's going on for your overall, you know, energy of the month, this new upheaval, this change. You need to be able to take a moment to step back from it and evaluate what it is that you're wanting moving forward. So that is, you know, and also, you know, letting go of that problem, and also, you know, meditate out in nature, you know, like what the oracle cards were saying, praying, if that is what you know, your soul feels called to do. And also just sleep, you know, this sounds like maybe you've been overworking yourself, so make sure and reevaluate, you know, are you getting enough sleep? Because we're not at our best when we're not getting enough sleep. You know, if we're only running on 3 hours of sleep, we're not going to work as efficiently as we should be. And I feel like with some of the other cards that we have that fell out, you are more of a diligent worker, especially, let's see. Yeah, exactly. You know, for your second week of May, we have the Knight of Coins, which, you know, this is an earth element, and with the swords, that is talking about air elements. So that is talking about Gemini, Aquarius, Libras. So that is in, you know, intellect, how we think, how we communicate. all that jazz. So with the Knight of Coins, though, we're talking about earth elements, so Capricorn, Virgo, and why do I always forget one? Taurus. There we go, Taurus. So with the Knight and with any court card, this could really be referring to you, or it also could refer to somebody coming into your life at this point. So with the Knight of Coins, this is somebody, devoted, very loyal, steadfast. It knows the importance of timing, especially, thinking about that with this taking a moment and waiting and, letting a problem sit. Understand the timing between those things. Don't feel rushed to be doing something. We're also, waiting patiently. Making something out of nothing is what the Knight of Coins is really good. He has a very methodological kind of way of doing things. He's slow and steady, but when he knows it's time to strike, he will, kind of thing. So efficiency, hard work, responsibility, daily tasks. Oh, yeah, needing to be trustful and reliable kind of person. I feel like this is a lot of you. You are this kind of person. You are hardworking, but you need to remember, with this card appearing for the second week, this is going to be a week you're coming out from taking this moment of rest, and then you're getting back to work, and you're doing it, true and tried way. You're not, you're keeping with the routine. You're sticking with it. But in the midst of that, do not become like a perfectionist. Don't let that the striving for perfection kind of cloud yourself, because that can become, then nothing you do can ever seem good enough. And that's definitely what you want to stay away from, because there's the true and tried way, and then there's trying to make everything too perfect, because nothing is ever 100% perfect. So that is what's going on for the second week. Let's go ahead and see what is happening for the third week of May. And so we had two cards for this one. So we have the Seven of Swords reversed, and then we also have the Three of Cups. So the Seven of Swords reversed is a interesting card, because it has a lot, when it's in its reverse state, it has a lot of different meanings. And so it's really dependent of understanding what that meaning is, specifically by what other card is around it and surrounding it. And so we have the Three of Cups. So what this tells me, looking at the Seven of Swords reverse, this is about more so, because the overall scheme of Seven of Swords is, plans maybe falling through, exposure, getting caught in, an act. But it's also about coming clean, rethinking our approach, also deception. So but with it accompanying the Three of Cups, I feel like this is really talking about the idea of coming clean. So you or someone around you coming clean about something, unburdening a certain guilt, maybe a certain deception that you were doing to somebody or somebody was doing to you. And also, a renewal of consciousness. And I feel like definitely with this as your overall theme, you're going to be thinking a lot of that. You're going to be looking at ways to, again, rebuild your new tower and thinking about the way you think. Because again, we have a swords here, so that is thinking about how you think, how you communicate. So you might be reevaluating that. It's also talking about a trust that was broken by somebody in some situation, but it can be, mended, but in a collaborative way, talking and communicating in a collaborative way to fix something. And so that is how I'm feeling this is talking about, because we have the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups is all about, joy with friends, community, celebrating that, hanging out with friends, family, friendship, happiness, happy reunion with a long lost friend or relative, loved one. And so because of that, I feel like maybe there's going to be, in the third week, some sort of situation. Maybe you fell out of communication with somebody because of a misunderstanding, or something happened with that you felt, your trust with that person maybe broken, and now that person is coming back, and you're going to be seeing it in, a new light, because whatever old beliefs you had maybe about that person, about that situation, that misunderstanding is going to be falling away. And so you're going to be able to look at it from clear eyes, and then you're going to meet this person again, and you're going to work on mending whatever that thing that happened. And it's going to lead to something nice, because the Three Cups could also be referring to, a birth of some sort, a wedding, some sort of special occasion. So maybe you'll meet this person at some sort of occasion that you'll both be at. And so it will give you a chance to reconnect and, find that bond again. So the Three Cups is also referring to, the ending of social life situations, like any problems that are been happening in your social life. This is marking the end of it. And then again, that idea of mending things, healing, this feels like the idea of healing. So maybe this occasion might happen outdoors, since we had so much earth energy in your oracle cards. Maybe that will be the best way to go about healing that root, that wound, whatever sort of miscommunication, illusion, deception that happened here. Rethink that approach to talking to this person, coming clean. Both sides, I think, will come clean, whatever is going on there, So moving on to the fourth and final week of your month, we have, again, another set of 2 cards. So we have the Two of Pentacles, we have Earth again, and then we have Swords again. And so also, speaking on that, this is the only cups that you've had in your reading. And so this is the emotion. This is, love kind of situations. And this is the water sign. So maybe this person you're reconnecting with could possibly be like a Pisces, a Cancer, Scorpio, or have possibly like some sort of placement like that in their chart that's in a prominent area. That's up to you. Or they could just have a very emotional sort of connection, or you both will have emotional connection to each other. So going back down to here with your 4th week, we have the earth elements again: Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, and then the swords: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So the 2 of coins with the 5 of swords. I feel like your 4th week, it's almost like that warning here about the idea of perfectionism is maybe coming back to haunt you in the 4th week, in that you may have not been keeping as close of a tab of what you were doing. So what the 2 of coins or pentacles is talking about is there's a lot going on. You have to balance all of these things, responsibilities, balancing decisions, priorities, adapting to change, and then also as far as financial things, something this card brings up is the idea that wealth, money is just an energy. So I feel like don't be trying to stress out too much about money in this situation, the 4th week, because the energy that you're putting towards that is gonna result, tip the scales on how whatever is going on with that is going to turn out. So you're trying in the 4th week, you're trying very hard to keep 2 aspects of your life in balance. And these 2 things deeply concern you. They're major priorities for you. So you have to, step back from the situation and try not to be, because this is definitely a very like multitasking feeling kind of card. Don't be doing that, because the multitasking might actually make the situation worse. If you're multitasking too much and you're getting confused with all these other little things, you're not putting all your attention to the 2 major things you're concerned with. And that is what you need to put all your focus into, is what is happening with that. Cut down on the tasks, concentrate on what is, whatever is these 2 things that are bugging you. You know, this also has a warning about, because you're juggling so much of this sort of stuff, and again, the pentacles with the earth, you're really talking about the material world. So your wealth, your health, just that material plane of things. So because of that, this card does come with a little warning of maybe you are struggling with your partner. Again, this is for those who are in a relationship. So because you're so distracted with these things, you're not giving and you're not able to devote enough of your time to your partner, and so that is straining things between you. So if you want to make sure that you want to keep on with that relationship, this is again another moment here I feel in your week where the tower moment is especially strong. If you want to make sure you want to keep that relationship steady, you need to take the time to communicate with that person and figure out, and give time to them. Again, with the finances, just keep a very clear, picture on what your finances are doing. Make sure that you know what you're doing with that and that there's no surprises coming. Also, funny enough, this card is also referring to a big thing that the oracle cards were talking about for you, Gemini, and that is self-care. You're being too preoccupied with all these other tasks and being super busy that you're not taking a moment to take care of yourself. So this is a reminder to definitely during the 4th week take some time to take care of yourself, because we also have this card paired with the 5 of Swords. And now the 5 of Swords is a not so great card because it's really talking about whether you are the victor in a situation or the loser. Neither side is really having a great outcome. This is definitely a big conflict kind of card happening here. So, you need to be looking for different ways to solve the conflict and restore peace that's happening here. If this is an actual serious argument or situation around you, you need to definitely look at another way of handling it than however you might be handling it at the time. This is talking about a very unbridled kind of ambition, too much ambition, wanting to win at all costs. Because the problem with this, the victor here in this case is that while they've won, they're really lost in the big picture because they've cut too many ties of close people around them, friendships, family, those kind of situations are going to strain because of that too much ambition. You need to look at that big picture and understand what the other side is going through. Really, you need to be able to look at both sides of the situation and understand it from both sides. Pick up the pieces before things get too out of hand. Again, especially with this card and the overall tower thing, if you're in a relationship, this is a big sign here to me that you need to work on that relationship because you've been too preoccupied, and so it could become a situation where you're isolating yourself from that person, and so they're going to end up, either side is going to end up losing, So, with the 5, you might also be feeling the world is against you in a sense, and so that might be adding stress to the situation of balancing all these elements together. So the big question with the 5 of Swords is asking yourself, what is most important? Mutual progress or winning to you? What is the most important thing? Let go of the ego. While your oracle cards were expressing this, working on your self-empowerment and, everything that goes with that, don't work on it in a way that it becomes, you're just trying to appease your ego. It shouldn't be coming from a place like that. because that's what this card is warning you about. So yes, that is what the overall tarot had to say about your month. So overall, I mean, the overall thing is the Tower. So there's definitely going to be an upheaval here. There's going to be a change, but there's going to be some, you know, some good moments here. As long as you, again, a lot of these cards are like warnings to let you know that this situation could arise and what the outcome of it could be, especially with this 4th week. You know, victory, but losing in the big picture. Like, I feel like, or you're, you know, lose side, you're walking away. Just be aware of that and make your choices accordingly, you know. Question, you know, rethinking of that consciousness, renewal of that consciousness, changing your strategies. Keep that all in mind while you're going through the month. And overall, yeah, that is your reading of Gemini for the overall month of May. I hope you guys found this useful in some way. Definitely, if you like this reading, leave a like. Also, if you feel so inclined, I would love to hear about, you know, how your month went. So definitely come back and leave a comment if you would like to do that. And then you can also check out all my other various links and, you know, other content sort of stuff down in the description of this video. So yes, thank you all so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great May, guys.